to a super exciting edition of Inside Media Weekly. I'm Ryan Boni. I'm joined here by Mr. Kevin Bastos.
Sorry, I'm texting.
Oh, you got
It's important. It's not important.
receiving a text, sending a text?
No, sending.
Okay.
Got it one back, and I was sending a text.
Okay. You ready to start? We ready? You ready?
Okay, yes.
Oh, yes. All right. And Justin Pinto is here.
Yes.
And what happened to the... Oh, they froze there for a second. The sea otters are here. Oh, there's one. He's swimming around.
Oh, that's actually kind of cute.
He might be playing Dungeons and Dragons there. They got the
see that.
dice there. It looks like
The 20-sided dice?
20-sided dice.
Oh, is it 20?
No, it's
Wow.
more like 12.
Polyhedron, I know that.
Polyhedron.
Yes. Multi-faced, three-dimensional object.
It's not. It's just more than some.
More
yes.
than
So,
four.
like,
More than
is a
six.
cube a polyhedron?
I want to say they're all polyhedron.
Okay.
It's just then you get more specific. Like, well, they're all polygons to something. You
So
know,
a four-sided pyramid, that would still be polyhedron.
I believe so.
A
Interesting.
solid figure with many plain faces, as in
Four qualify
typically
as many?
more
Yes.
than six.
Oh,
Typically.
I mean, I think you're talking about a triangular
triangular prism as well.
triangular prism would have 5 sides.
Triangular prism. So what would be the four-sided one?
Triangle pyramid would have 4 sides because it'd be a triangle and then 3 triangles above it. Pyramids only have 1 base. Prisms have 2.
Welcome to Geometry Weekly.
Yeah, prisms have 2 bases.
Prisms have 2 bases.
So how do you determine the
By the base.
angle of the...
Well, no, the angle I don't know.
And what are the pyramids in Egypt? They're not technically triangular pyramids.
They would be.
They have square bases.
They'd be either rectangular or square pyramids. You name it by the base. Yep.
Okay,
Wow.
interesting.
When are you going to use
It's
this?
a very
All the time.
educational
All
Inside
the
Media
time.
Weekly.
You're using it right now.
I can hear
The sea otters are
hear
using
the
it
people
right
shutting
now.
it off right across.
Those sea otters need their
Conceptually, you
their
can make a
spatial geometry.
You can make it a hexagonal pyramid, right?
It'd
Conceptually,
be it'd be hexagonal. Any base.
hexagonal or hexagonal.
I would say hexagonal, but I could be wrong.
Okay.
That I could be very wrong on.
All right, interesting. Not at all.
I've learned
when I
so
say
much
interesting,
so
I
far
mean
this
not
morning.
at all
I'm
interesting.
It's
interested.
fantastic. We can continue on if you want to talk
No,
about
I'm good.
Okay. We have...
Let's talk about
Come
movies
by,
we haven't
come
seen.
by
in
first,
town.
third, or eighth.
Let's
I'm 218.
go with what happened this past weekend. Huge box office record weekend as Venom comes in $80 million,
That's more than I expected.
which is pretty good, especially considering
It's an October record.
the October record and the reviews have not been necessarily great. But I don't know what you expect from review-wise.
I mean,
Did you see it?
I did not.
Okay.
No,
Just checking. I'm just
No,
checking.
I did not see it.
Okay.
I would go to see it.
So would I.
I would go to see it with the reviews. You know, something tells me if I was going to the movies, depending on who I was going with, I'd either pick
Truth.
Venom or A Star Is Born.
Correct.
I don't, you know,
Correct.
it's the other person that would probably be making that call.
I understand. Well, it's one of those things. You don't get to a lot of movies, so when you're going, gotta have to make it count.
I was surprised all of a sudden. It was like, oh, Venom comes out this week.
I know.
This week. I was like,
my wife said, "When's that come out?" I'm like, "I don't know, end of October." She was like, "Nope, this weekend." I
no,
was
Thursday.
Like,
I
what?
think you can go see it Thursday if you want.
What?
Yes.
The previous October record holder
Gravity.
was Gravity.
That shocks me.
Opened
Made 55?
over.
So this
40
is a lot more
I'm sorry,
than
over
that.
55.7 million.
Yes.
It's a lot more.
Yes.
than
They
that.
projected, they thought Venom could get 60 from their forecasts.
80 is a lot more than the projection too.
80 is the same amount of money like Solo made.
Well, and that's
Wow.
they mentioned it. It actually is just above Ant-Man and Wasp, which debuted at 75.8, and Solo was 84.4 million. So this is and obviously Solo went on to be considered a disappointment for
You know, made 200.
Star
$210
Wars
million,
terms,
you know.
but pretty good for a trailer that certainly looked a little scary, a little.
I
little dark.
loved all the promos and previews I saw. I thought this is going to be great, but the buzz around it was so bad. Just this movie's going to be terrible. It's awful, and
It still might be terrible.
I haven't vouched for any of it
yet.
but I think it was destroyed by that. bad
Oh, it
buzz.
got- oh,
the same
yeah.
way with Solo.
Well, I think Solo was also a victim of too many Star Wars movies too
Yeah.
quickly. Like, you can't go December and then have a terrible review and go May. And plus, a lot of people, you know, you take somebody, you know, somebody who was 45 and saw Star Wars when they were a kid and love Han Solo and then have soured over the years with the prequels and so on and they're like, I don't need to see a new Han Solo. You know what I mean? Like, you lost a lot of your base with what they did.
I wonder too. The Last Jedi was so divisive amongst people that
Yes.
I have to wonder if even if you turned away 25% of the audience or something like that because of that previous movie, it certainly was going to hurt Solo. Solo was already going to have some
Solo should have came out like him.
issues.
October, apparently.
And what's sad is Solo's
last
a
week.
good movie. It's a solid.
Oh yeah,
it's a
it
fun
is
movie.
solid. It's not bad.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I would certainly put it above many of the other Star Wars movies. I wouldn't say the best, certainly, but
No, I'd say it's better than. I like it more than Last Jedi.
yeah.
I've also seen it twice, and only seen Last Jedi once, but
really.
I saw Solo when it came out, and then I went and saw Solo with somebody else who wanted to see Solo. My wife wanted to see it. Let's go see Solo. I'm like, all right, I'll go see it again.
I don't know if I like it better than Last Jedi or not.
I've only saw Last Jedi once, and I remember leaving very not.
The second view I thought was better.
I was
I
very
went back
down on
and it's not as nearly as bad
No,
as
it has high highs and low lows. Like the highs are very good for me, and the lows are. Who had this idea? Like the milking the thing that we can universally say is the worst part of that film. Who came up with that? But
well, and the whole side story going to the casino, I think, is. But I find, and
There
that's
are a
the
lot
same
of
I
Star
find
Wars
with
have
like
that
the
sidelines.
prequels and stuff like that. When you go in going, okay,
You've
Jar
lowered
Jar
your
Binks
expectations.
yeah, well, but you just kind of say, I know why Jar Jar Binks is there. I know his purpose, and it's both story wise and for kids wise. And you just kind of go, okay, and actually his, he diminishes as repeated viewings. And I think Last Jedi is certainly going to hold up better down the road once people are kind of past.
Well, it'll
this
really
anger.
determine the next one. Like, does 9 make you appreciate what you saw more, or does 9 let you down again, and then you don't like it even less? I mean, it really. But yeah, like Venom. I mean, I think the people who are going to see Venom were already going to go see Venom.
right.
You know what I mean? Like people, he is a character that some people love,
Oh sure.
and they're going to go see it,
But
no matter what.
I also think going in, people had this set. This is not going to be good. This is going to be a bad film, either because they were exposed to Venom in Spider-Man 3, which was a not great
and that
film,
really, yeah.
or they have expectations that it's going to be that McFarlane version of Venom at the very beginnings, and I just think there are still some things you can't transfer over to screen well, and part of it is Venom exists better as a comic book than in actual reality.
I could see, yeah. I mean, he seemed like he had a little transformer going on, like too many moving parts. Like you're doing too much. We could have simplified his CGI a little bit, I feel like. But I will reserve final judgment for when I see it, because I will
Right.
see it at some point, and
So how do you think it's going to do second week? You're just talking about
it's going to lose 60%.
lots of people
It's gonna lose 60%.
rushed out. The people that wanted to see it are going to
Yes.
see
Yeah, I
it.
would guess 20-25 million. I bet the two films are going to be close for what wins the weekend, and I
Star.
would not be surprised if Star is Born wins. I would not be surprised if Star is Born loses $10 million and ends up with $30 million, and this ends up with 20-25. That's what I'd guess.
Yeah, and I don't remember anything big coming out this week.
No.
It's the end of the show.
Yes, I do. I'm just saying.
Teasing. He's teasing
Nothing is
it
going
in
to
the
beat
show.
it, I think. I don't think anything is going to beat either of those movies.
I don't know. I precipitous drop of Venom could be very bad. Again, getting terrible press and talk. And
Yeah, but I think it'll
stuff.
still make $20 million.
Yeah, probably.
So, and I don't know, like, when's the last time, we were talking 2 weeks ago how the two movies make $20 million. We thought what a success it was for October. So, I mean, making $20 million in October, there's no blockbuster coming out. There's no.
And it could be a good time. Like, good idea to bring Venom. I would call a movie with CGI and an actor in it. Everything else is
Bring it out in a slow time.
scale level. Make some money on that.
Speaking of making money, I didn't even have it in the rundown, but I forgot about it until we were talking about Star Wars. What a surprise. So the first set photo from the live TV show, the Jon Favreau
Oh, I saw
Mandalorian.
this. Yes.
So it's been revealed, obviously, now that the TV show is going to be about the Boba Fett race. We don't know if it's Boba Fett or not. But how do you feel about exploring yet another, which we're talking about Solo, another iconic character that might be best left, the past left alone? Maybe? I don't know.
Are we
Thoughts?
changing the whole Jango Fett storyline and stuff? Are we going to go that far? 'Cause
Don't
I
know.
can get behind that.
I don't know.
Because that was like, that forcing into that was just,
Awful,
yes.
painful,
Yes. I think that was by far my most, like, you heard about the Clone Wars for so long, and you thought how great it was going to be. And then the Clone Wars you were looking forward to the whole time was like an animated short on the Cartoon Network.
Yep.
Not the movie that you were waiting for.
No. And
Not the movie.
how many times the Clone Wars are mentioned in those first 3 movies, and and then going through, it's like, here's a bunch of guys in the cafeteria who all have the same face. I'm like, what? This is it? This is, yeah.
But the cartoon was good.
Yeah. Produced by some third-rate animation studio in a fifth world country for $12.50, and it turned out great.
Yeah, turned out better than the movie.
I would say yes.
So the series, of course, more than likely is going to be on the Disney streaming service that's coming out.
No surprise. You're welcome.
My concern about this stuff, if I may say, it's a concern. Not that Disney's going to listen to me, but
or anyone.
Yeah, right.
Well, some people.
Shareholders, they're called.
I think Bob Iger's got it pretty. He's got it pretty.
And I felt this was one of my main reactions to The Force Awakens was that they shrunk the universe down because, hey, look, we happen to be on this far off planet, whatever, and here, we're back at Tatooine, or here's the Millennium Falcon, or here are TIE fighters. Mm-hmm. You've got an entire universe in order to explore. And I feel like sometimes they're so afraid to go outside of that universe. I mean, we think about...
Isn't that one guy getting a trilogy?
Yeah.
It's supposed to
Rian
be
Johnson.
Nothing that we've ever seen before?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be all like expanded universe?
Although they've stopped talking about that. After the lack of success or the divisiveness of...
I thought it was still a go.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see what
comes out. It's not a go.
Yeah.
I thought I read something recently. You're still working on it. But I could, I could be totally making that up in my mind and convincing myself I read it.
No, I mean, nobody has said it's not happening, but
Yeah.
It's interesting how they kind of promoted it for a little bit, and then now when they talk about upcoming things, they talk about the live-action series. They talk about, Episode 9 is happening, finishing up the 9-part saga, or Skywalker saga, even though Luke may be dead. And
He's casted. In the next one, he's got a credit already, doesn't he?
And
or Mark Hamill does, I should say.
Princess Leia is...
Might just be flashbacks.
So,
might be Force Ghost. Mm-hmm. Would be my guess.
All right, so excitement, not excitement?
I'll watch it.
I'll watch it.
Yeah.
Can you watch 24, 42, 60 some odd episodes about...
I don't know. Like, even sitting down and watching the cartoon was rough, and not because it was bad, just because it was a lot of cartoons. And I've never watched the other Clone War cartoons. And
there's even more of that one, I think.
I know. There's like 5 seasons.
Yeah, it's like
and they're
season
like
5
real
now,
episodes.
yes.
It's not like 5-minute
No,
shorts.
it's like 30 minutes. It's
I
like
know,
28
per
minutes.
episode.
Yes.
And
it's pretty, like, I've turned it on a couple
Blu-rays.
times. It's pretty, like, there's a lot going on. It's not like, oh, hey, let's just have a little cartoon. It's like, there's, like, actual plot to follow. It's not like Paw Patrol.
Okay.
Not like Paw Patrol.
No. Paw Patrol's got
You can't walk in and walk out and go, oh, that's going... Yeah, I got you. Okay. You might have to... What did you say? It might be important.
Speaking of important, the first poster for... That's not it. The first... I do like the picture at the top of the story. The first poster for Pet Semetary... That's huge. What's going on here? The Pet Semetary remake. Let's do it one step at a time here.
We did not know we needed.
Good job.
There we go. Sometimes dead is better. So obviously humongous success. Are we going to revisit now? Are you excited about the Pet Semetary?
I don't know.
Redo?
I don't know. I mean, it was so painfully awful when it was released that I actually went back and watched the television movie before we went and saw it. I read the book too. Very proud of myself. Way to go, Kev. And it was so painfully bad to be silly.
Mm-hmm. Well,
and there were
dead is better.
moments and sections. And I didn't see Pet Semetary as painful or bad.
Okay.
I saw it as Stephen King goes, pretty darn good. Now, the second Pet Semetary, that's an awful train wreck. But the first one, I mean, I remember in the theater, and, that moment scene, that, I can't believe they've actually done that scene. Do you know the one I'm referring to?
I do not.
Oh, the
I don't know if I remember.
Oh my gosh. There's a moment where, of course, the child comes back and he's the killer. And the child cuts the Achilles tendon on a man.
Oh,
And they show, like, the knife, like, going in, like, just a little bit. And the whole theater gasped when it happened. And you could see people visibly move in fear, like grabbing their own feet and moving out of the way. That was such a perfect moment in that film, in the theater. And I don't know if this story is going to translate or work well again. King's a good writer. You know, he's written some excellent stuff and tripe, but almost all of it's been movie-tized. Now we're moving on to second and third time movie-tizing, so who knows?
So then my question is, what will be the next Stephen King remake? I was looking to see what, obviously his, the most recent It is by far his most successful adaptation.
We'll wait for chapter 2.
We got the second one coming out. Green Mile, of course, was hugely successful. 1408, which I actually enjoyed.
Oh, I liked it a lot.
It was one.
I thought it was very
It's one of
good.
the movies where you bought the Blu-ray player and they said you could pick out 5 movies, and it was one of the ones I chose. And of course, Misery was well received when it.
It's
when it
funny
came
to me
out.
because of the level of books and movies in here. Like, It is an okay book, but a very good film. Green Mile is excellent in both. 1408 I never read, so I can't say. Misery is an excellent book and a pretty dang good movie.
I'm saying Stand By Me.
Do we?
Oh, Stand By Me is excellent. I don't know if that could
Do we
hold up.
revisit The Shining? Carrie, Firestarter.
He hated The Shining, of course.
Cujo. No, we just talking about
Ugh. Yeah. What's bottom of the list? Bottom of the
So
list.
bottom
here.
of the
Let's
list-
see. The Cell.
I will say too that
Ooh, The Mangler.
Graveyard Shift still is one of my 5 least favorite movies I've ever seen in the theater by far.
I don't think I've seen it.
Yeah, don't waste your time.
Okay.
It's really
Cat's Eye. That's terrible.
Maximum Overdrive would be fantastic to bring back.
Oh, I like that movie. I really did. Oh, corny. Absolutely corny.
Children of the
but
Corn.
I loved it.
I'm just trying to
did
think
not
ones
like
that have a.
it. Can you scroll up for me? I'm poking through.
There's
This is pretty
Firestarter.
fun. Oh.
Christine, of course.
Thinner was not originally released under his name, though, was it? That was a Bachman book, if I remember correctly.
So
Creep Show.
I'm going Cujo.
What about Creep Show 2?
Probably lower.
didn't see
Or did it make
Creepshow.
more
This
money?
is
on the
this is in. Should we go by date instead? Will that help?
Oh, man. Yeah, let's go.
So we go back to the original.
Oh,
Carrie, of
Carrie.
course, was the first.
It's a good film.
And The Shining is so.
The Running Man. Oh, that's a fun piece of garbage. That's great, tripe. Oh, it is great tripe.
Lawnmower Man. Can't forget that one too.
The Lawnmower Man.
I don't think he touched Shawshank Redemption.
No, you don't
but
think?
although they
You
may.
don't think we remake that?
Oh, yeah, they
There
will.
there will come a time they will remake Shawshank Redemption, and that could be
apt
like,
pupil.
Did not know it was a movie.
that's the
Scroll
one
up.
about the that came out right around American History
Who
X.
was in
didn't
that? Yeah, that was.
it? Was that Ian McKellen? Was Ian McKellen in that pupil?
Oh, Secret Window. I saw it. That was so disappointing.
With the
I
kid,
don't
the
remember.
kid's like studying him, and he's like,
Can you scroll me up
like
a little more,
Nazi
brother?
general. Is that what it
I
is?
should give you some control here.
Yeah. I don't remember. Oh, Dark Tower. That was bad.
The new one or the old one?
The one that was released like last year. It was.
Or did they make it?
bad.
That was a TV show. Was that a TV event
I think it
first?
was. Yeah, but the.
Yeah, Ian McKellen and Brad Renfro.
Right, as a kid, and he's like a Nazi general or something.
Oh, Salem's Lot. That was a TV movie. Remember that?
I do not. I'm not big on horror. Like, I'm not big a Stephen King fan. Like, I mean, like he writes some things that are not horror, obviously, like Shawshank and Green Mile, and they.
And those are excellent.
I like Green
And,
Mile's okay. Shawshank's really good. I mean,
Oh, I liked Green Mile.
I just remember I saw it. I remember thinking, it was a little wasn't it long. It didn't come out on 2 VHS tapes. Wasn't that like a double VHS?
Might have
If
been.
you're a double VHS, you got to really,
It was-
really.
It was one of those movies though where I almost believed the supernatural element of it. Like it was so
Oh, yes.
believable. Going, they build it up so believable that.
And so weird. Just the weirdest possible thing, but excellent. Man, was that good.
Yeah.
Just, I thought, great set of characters and great performances, too. Love that film. It was originally released serialized books. 6 books. I picked it up after the second one came out, and then went through and read them all as they came out. That was a lot of fun.
Wow.
Great stuff. Ugh. It just kills me that like it and The Dark Tower are together, and what The Cell apparently has 0 box office. Wow, not available. Riding the Bullet, 113,000, released in 100 theaters. Yeesh. The Mist. I love The Mist. It's one of my favorite books. Came from a short story again. I think that was Skeleton Crew.
All right, so upcoming, it says here on the side, actually it has the upcoming on the side. Pet Semetary, of course, is coming out in April of next year. Chapter 2, how are they going to turn that around in a year?
That's 2 years, isn't it?
Yeah, 9/6/19.
Yeah, this is 18, right? Right now?
So they got a year left.
It was 2 years ago.
Oh, no, I meant they're shooting it right now, I think, right? So.
Oh yeah, they'll be done by Christmas.
And then Doctor Sleep in 2020.
Never heard of it.
I actually went once to the list and I saw the list of books that had never been made into Stephen King films. That was interesting. And that had never been any adaptation, or they're owned, of course. Everyone buys them.
Right.
But the ones that didn't exist, that was fascinating. He has a fantasy book, Eyes of the Dragon, that he wrote mid-'80s. I liked it.
All right.
Boy, this is like
So you don't have,
fascinating.
I don't know.
All the books I've read.
Yeah.
So what? Since you're a pretty big Stephen King reader, what would make what it has not?
Very little.
Do you think
almost
has not been
nothing.
tapped into that would make a great
no,
film?
Almost nothing. I mean, Eyes of the Dragon is a different kind of story, and I don't think it'll translate well to film anyway, just because we're in that we've killed fantasy kind of an era right now. But
haven't we oversaturated almost
Stephen,
everything you could possibly do?
Yeah.
If something makes money, 10 more, please. Go.
And would the Stephen King name perhaps draw people the wrong direction?
I don't think it would.
Or, okay.
That's one of those ones I wouldn't hang it with it. Like Green Mile was separate from it, and so was
Well, Shawshank wasn't really pushed as a Stephen King.
No, they were separate. And Shawshank was a failure in the box office. Did not do well. It wasn't until video and nominations that everyone's like,
TBS,
hey, wait a minute.
airing it every day.
Yeah, I know. This is kind of good. I kind of missed this. That year of film is a fantastic one.
Here's one I'm excited about, if it loads. Netflix has acquired the rights to Chronicles of Narnia. So for those that watched I don't know if you guys saw the films.
You saw them all in the theater.
Is there 4?
3.
They're
They did the first 3. In line the
When
Watch.
you say first 3,
Well,
They did 3.
They did 3 in particular order. Yes, depending on which order you go with. But Lion the Witch and the Wardrobe had lots of money. I thought all 3 movies were pretty well done, especially as they slashed the budgets.
they got better.
If anybody's
The
looking for the
stories
collector's edition of Chronicles of Narnia,
Okay.
with the bookends, I got
Got
you.
those?
You need it, I got it.
So
I'm not sure why I have it.
Okay.
But I have it.
That was that hoarding phase
Oh,
of...
man. There's a lot of stuff down
I
there.
understand.
So, of course, this was a very highly successful BBC series put together of Chronicles
Are they going
of
back
Narnia.
to the beginning?
I would think so.
I would say with this one, you'd go
the
back...
kids are
and-
too old now to.
Well,
especially
I would
if
say
we were
you go
trying to
back and do Magician's Nephew and then just go right through in chronological order. That would be great. Especially if you could turn something around for that. I mean, some of those are... Magician's Nephew and Last Battle are particularly good. Some of those in there are just... Like The Horse and His Boy, just...
Well, you could just combine that with something else.
Yeah, why would you do that, though?
It's the other way around. You split them up. Each one of these is going to be 2 movies.
Yeah, we're dividing The Horse and His Boy into 7 films and after-school special, 2 series, and a Netflix.
Well, they're going
pay-per-view.
to. I would imagine that Netflix is going to not do it as a movie. They're going to do it as a episode,
A
right?
series of. Well, it says new series and films are in the works.
Yeah, I would say every book you make into a season.
And then there'll just be Narnia series.
Right.
That's what I would
Fill
do.
in the
if I was them.
gaps.
You make 5, 10 episodes in
Yeah.
the first. Yeah.
And then if you get to The Horse and His Boy and you're like, okay, guys, there's 7 books. We're only going to have 6 seasons, okay? We're just going to
We're
split this.
blend
We're
this
chopping
one
this up a
together.
little bit different.
So speaking of chopping up,
Silver Chair, the Dawn Voyage of the Dawn Treader. That was the last movie, right?
Was it called that, or was it called Prince Caspian? Was
No,
Prince
it was
Caspian?
Prince
Caspian
Caspian is
they
the
made.
second one, right?
in
Voyage.
that particular order. It is
Yeah, I thought they got better as they went.
Oh yeah. Well, Lion the Witch and Wardrobe is not.
You're
a
establishing
great
the environment.
book. It's okay. I mean, it's obviously the most well known, but I wouldn't say it's the best book of the
No.
series.
It's good.
But as an introductory to the
Sort of like
to
The
series.
Hobbit.
Let's make 3 movies, really long. Okay, go. You got it.
So Mark Ruffalo goes on Jimmy Fallon, says the title of the new Avengers movie, asks to have it bleeped out, and gets fired by the Russo brothers. Do you believe in any of this?
No.
Not at all. Okay.
Perfect.
Well, he didn't actually say it, did he?
Well,
He said it.
I
said
thought he
it.
said.
And they bleeped it out, and supposedly. But some people have said that he actually on the set said the last Avenger, which would be funny to Captain America being the first Avenger. And of course, the rumor mill. Sorry, this is a spoiler, but the rumor mill out there has been that it's called Avengers Annihilation.
I thought what he did say was the name's already out there. I thought is what he did say, something like that. Like the name's already out there. Everyone's already heard the name.
But I thought it was funny to have. Good to keep it in the news cycle. You stir up some
Can
pretend
we
controversy.
get like it's not that far away? Is it supposed to come out in May or is it May 2019? Are we 2 years away?
I don't know.
Is this like a Matrix where it's going to come fast? Or
No,
is it like
it
a
is.
I'd
long?
assumed there would be enough out there to remind
almost out
me,
of
hey,
time,
I'm going to have to go
by the way.
buy this. What?
May 3rd, 2019.
Oh, geez, that is far. No, that's not that far away. 2019 is right around the corner.
We're only 2 months away. Well,
We're
3
like
months
8
away,
months
I
away,
guess.
right? We're
well,
8
but I
months
meant
away
from
from the movie?
2019, and then
We're 7
it's
months
coming.
away.
Oh, no.
Count October 8.
So are they gonna do a trailer without revealing the title
Oh, good.
and just like say the
Can
next
they just tell me
Avengers or
the
something?
I've been waiting 6 months now for this name. Can we just finally get to it,
Well, they
please?
said they wouldn't release it originally because
It'll ruin everything.
the previous.
If it's called
film,
Annihilation, and that does
And
not
now
ruin
it's
anything.
out. Like, the movie's out. Like, we're not spoiling
I can buy
something
it on
that's
Blu-ray. I
been-
could go to Target and get it today.
Is Blu-ray on
I
already?
think so, yeah.
I don't know.
Black Panther's on Blu-ray. I know that
Yeah,
for
I knew
sure.
that. I own that one. I don't know if I got
Guys,
it.
we're out of time.
Snapdragon.
There are 3 movies coming out this weekend.
Okay.
Let's see if we can figure it out. Bad Times at the El Royale.
Oh, I'm kind of intrigued by that.
Oh, yeah. that
First
looks
Man
good.
is finally coming out. I thought that was out like months ago.
Oh, I think
First
that's going to
Man?
make
Okay,
money.
that could be-
These are
okay.
big money movies.
And Goosebumps 2, Haunted Halloween.
Oh, boy.
By the way, I went back to look. The first Goosebumps book came out in 1992.
Book?
Yeah, the first book.
I would've said
1992.
older.
That's what it
I was
says.
in college then. I was not reading a lot of children's books.
I was 11.
So First
And
Man
also
should do
not
well,
reading a lot of
but
books.
we'll have to see if Star is Born and
This could be an interesting week. That's a lot. That's some
Four-way
pretty big-
race, I
yeah,
think.
First Man, pretty big.
we'll see how far Venom falls. We'll have to check in next week to find out what happens on the next edition of Inside Media Weekly. Thanks for joining us.